Hello, welcome to YellowCoversExplained. Today, we'll be looking at keywords. They make the world of Magic's combat more than just numbers. So, what is a keyword? Keyword is something printed on many creatures and equipment cards. They give your creatures abilities, such as this flying unicorn creature. Now, we can assume some things, since a flying unicorn is easy to imagine, but what does that mean for the rules of Magic? A flying creature is up in the air, so it can only be blocked by creatures that have flying, or creature cards that say reach. This is useful, because even if an opponent has many creatures, if they don't control a creature with flying, they can't block any of your attacks. The keyword reach allows a creature that's not flying to block a creature that is flying. It does not allow it to go above other creatures like flying does, but it can be very useful for defense. So that's 2 keywords. We'll go into each keyword on the list right here in this video. I'll also be going into some other effects at the end, such as scrying and milling. I'll have the video marked with sections, so you can jump to the specific time if you need to. Deathtouch, one of the scariest keywords in Magic. It means if this Bilious Skull Dweller, which has Deathtouch, deals even 1 damage to this Gitrog monster, the Gitrog monster will die. Now, if these 2 creatures are fighting in combat, the Bilious Skull Dweller would also die. But I'd say, for how small this insect is, that's a worthy trade. The Bilious Skull Dweller also has Toxic. We can even read what it does right on the card. Toxic 1 reads, players dealt combat damage to by this creature also get a poison counter. Interesting. How does poison work in Magic? Does it slowly drain your life? Poison is a lot simpler actually. If a player finds themselves with 10 poison, for example, if I were able to hit someone with this Bilious Skull Dweller 10 times, they would immediately lose the game. Double Strike. This keyword means your creature will deal its damage twice. This is not the same as just saying double damage in Magic. Cards can have what are called on-hit effects. For example, if my 2-headed Cerberus is enchanted with Curiosity, Curiosity says, whenever enchanted creature deals combat damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. This means each hit will trigger the enchantment's effect. So, if an opponent chooses not to block my 2-headed Cerberus, they will take 1 damage, then I would draw a card, then they would take another damage, and I would draw 1 more card. When creatures in Magic attack, they turn sideways, or tap, to show that they've been used and can no longer block. Vigilance makes it so you can do both. Vigilance means that your creature will not tap down from attacking. There's not much more to it, but don't underestimate how useful this is. Here, we have a keyword, not on a creature, but on an instant. Creatures can have first strike too, but I wanted to show this off. We'll give our instant first strike and +1/+1 to this 2-headed Cerberus. So now, he'll do 2 damage twice. Our opponent has a Bilious Skull Dweller out, so we shouldn't attack him, right? First strike actually lets us attack our opponents without fear of us losing our Cerberus to the Skull Dweller. First strike makes it so your creature deals damage before the other creature, instead of making it so the damage happens at the same time like would normally happen in Magic. Then, our second attack will go through from the double strike, and we'll hurt our opponent for 2 life. What if you have a really valuable creature that you don't want your opponent to be able to target? That's what Hexproof is for. It means that the creature can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. These Swiftfoot boots give Hexproof to a creature, so they read the equipped creature can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. So, if an opponent wanted to use this lightning bolt for some reason and shoot at this pupper, If he had the lightning greaves on, they couldn't do that. It is important to note that if a card like Plague Winds is played, however, it does not protect our faithful boy, because Hexproof can only stop spells that target. Plague Wind says, destroy all. It does not say to target. Goodbye, sweet prince. These boots also give haste. This goblin has haste. What does that do? Haste means that the creature can attack the same turn that it's brought into play. Normally, creatures become summoning sick after being freshly summoned. Haste removes the summoning sickness and lets your creature attack. This Dawnstrike Paladin has Lifelink. We can see on the card that means damage dealt by this creature also causes you to gain that much life. Or, if Dawnstrike Paladin does 2 damage, you will gain 2 life. There's not much more to say, but life gain is very strong in Magic. Don't underestimate the Lifelinkers. Creature with Trample, such as Archweaver, does not get stopped completely if it's blocked by a smaller creature. Any excess damage that is not blocked, damage is blocked by the amount of toughness the creature you're blocking with has, becomes damage that goes through to your opponent's life total. For example, if this Archweaver attacks an opponent who blocks with this High-Rise Sawjack, the High-Rise Sawjack will take 3 damage as it has 3 toughness, and then the Archweaver will do extra 2 damage to the opponent's life total. We have our friend here, the Bloated Toad. He says he has protection from blue. That means he cannot be harmed by blue creatures, blue spells, or abilities of creatures that are blue. That means if an opponent has only blue creatures, the Bloated Toad can't be blocked by any of them. That's a win for the Frog Gang. We can also see that this card has Cycling. Cycling says, pay 2 mana of any color, discard this card from your hand, and then draw a card. Play this ability as an instant. So, if we have the Toad in our hand, we could play 2 of any color, discard him, and draw another card. Play this ability as an instant means you can cycle the Toad on an opponent's turn as well, not just your own. Well, those keywords were interesting, and all very strong effects. Let's look at a few funky terms thrown around in Magic before we leave. Scrying. This effect means to look at the top card of your library, and then decide if you'd like to keep it and put it back on top, or if you'd like to put it at the bottom of your library. Milling. Milling in Magic means to take the top card of your library and put it into your graveyard. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new about Magic. Have a great day.